I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here, but we have just witnessed two of the greatest individual performances I have ever seen in Premier League history. Two of the best individual performances from Son and Harry Kane that I have ever witnessed in football. This was a team that for 44 minutes were absolutely woeful. And then Harry Kane and Son came to life and demonstrated the difference between your world-class players performing in a moment of need and not. 4 assists and a goal for Harry Kane and 4 goals for Son Min-hyun. What an absolute privilege it was to witness them two out there rip it up. Let me give you an example here, right? I use who scored for statistics during games. Davis is rated a 6.2, Dyer a 6.9, Sanchez a 6.8, Doherty a 6.4, Højbjerg 7, Wink 6, Lo Celso 6, Bergwijn 5.9, Lamela 6, Mora got a 6, Ndombele got a 6. Tottenham were average. Apart from King Harry Kane and Son, man like Son with his 4 goals, 10 out of 10 performances from them both. Absolutely astounding. That is all I can say. Is astounding. They saved Jose Mourinho's blushes. They shut up so many haters that don't rate them. The amount of people that I have seen for years talk about Harry Kane being a tap-in merchant. Hang your heads in shame. We're all allowed to have opinions on football players, how good or bad they are. We're all allowed to do that. But when you deny facts, when you deny the facts, the outputs, the quality that's being seen week in, week out, it's embarrassing for you. Harry Kane with 5 goal contributions today. They scored 5. All 5, Harry Kane had a major hand in. And Son, on Son for a minute. Inside forward, maybe. Striker, another. 4 goals in a game. And not just 4. It weren't bad defending. It was just passes from Kane and runs from Son that were so cutting edge. They could slice diamonds apart today, these boys. Wow. Absolute wow. That's the only words in the English dictionary that you can express right now. Wow. What we saw from them two boys, sensational. Sensational. Who is your man of the match? I want to know right now. I know I'm giving it Son. You score 4 goals, you get man of the match. Harry Kane was brilliant, but Son, absolutely impeccable performance from him. Just impeccable. I'm watching the replays of the goals right there on my screen. I wish I could show them and talk. Wow. A mic here says sensational. Yeah. I thought of a headline like Force of Son Nature. Do you get what I mean? Force on Nature. I like that one. But sensational is good. Kane was amazing. Tony here, one of our members, says Son hands down. Usain Blake says Son. Yeah, I would give it to Son, no doubt about it. People say things like Son Aldinho. Son Aldinho don't need that. Son don't need that. Son is Son, bruv. Son is Son. He's an absolute baller. And listen, pay rise. Jose's got to go. Jose's got to go into that dressing room now and say, Son, I get paid X a week. This week, I'm giving you my salary, bruv. This week, you take that. Red panty night for you and a wife. Take her out, all on me. You get my salary. Do you know what I mean? My kid is going to come cut your grass for a week. Straight up. Straight up. Because for me, you need a babysitter, son. You want to go out? Me and the missus, we come round and do it because it was an embarrassing performance again. Up until Harry Kane and Son just went, you know what? We're going to take over here. We're going to take over. And they did. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Skype lines are open if you want to call in, if you want to come on and have your say. Kane's passing is ridiculous today. He's a legend, is what Steve Kim says. Super chat here from Jerome says, this shows how Harry Kane is the full package. No one can ever doubt the guy. No one can doubt the guy at all. Listen, I never doubt Harry Kane. I never doubt Harry Kane. He's a superstar player. By the way, everyone who's tuning in, please hit the like and share button. But that was just impeccable. Subak, there's some comments here in languages that I don't even understand. Clearly, they look Korean, but the makeup of the letters. The reason I say that is I studied the Korean art of Tang Sudo, and I used to see a lot of Korean symbolage up, and it looks that way. But there we go. Comment here: how do I get on the Skype call? Just search Football Terrace. You'll see our logo, bro. Get yourselves on. Want to hear from you. We've got man like Abs Jr. on the show. What did you just make of Tottenham's great comeback and the show from Son and Harry Kane? Give me your opinions, mate. You can speak.
Hello.
Oh, I just hung up because I didn't think he was going to speak. Call back and we'll get you back on the air. Sometimes you just got to speak a little bit sooner so I know that you're there. He's called back. Abs, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, well, give me your thoughts on the game.
Well, the game was very slow at the start, but congrats to Son. Like, that was an absolute individual masterclass. And yeah, like, honestly, with Mourinho, I feel like, yeah, like this is a great game, but I still feel like, it's one of those games from Mourinho where you're gonna get like unpredicted results from him.
Yeah, listen, Harry Kane and Son can't do that every week because, I mean, I don't know how often. I would guess no more than maybe 10, 11 players have scored 4 goals in a game ever in Premier League history. And I'm not sure if any players ever assisted 4 goals in a game. So that's unlikely. The play from Tottenham up until those two turned it on was sensation. It was awful. So that's absolutely right. And I wouldn't, if I'm a Spurs fan, I wouldn't get overly carried away. What I would say, though, is you've got Sergio Reguilon and Gareth Bale to add to this mix. Can you imagine Son? We had a Tottenham fan, Josh, came on the show in the week and said that he thinks Liverpool, if Bale is as good as he has been before, this could be the best front three in the Premier League. And there are little signs of it today that say it's likely that could happen. Like what we saw today was sensational. There's no doubts about it.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that comes down to injuries. I think with Tottenham and the squad, it's very unpredictable with Tottenham. You might have a great game and here and there, and then injuries fall off and then their results get a bit shaky. And from analyzing from like an Arsenal point of view, like it's unpredictable, I think, with Arsenal and Tottenham, honestly. Even if Mikel Arteta is doing a great job, I think with those two teams, it's very unpredictable based on the statuses of the players.
Yeah.
If they get injured or not. So, that's just being
of course, yeah. If Harry Kane misses 3 or 4 months of the season, yeah, I completely get you on that one. Abs, thank you for your call, mate. Really well articulated. Thank you. Jerome here, one of our resident Tottenham fans in the super chats, says, however, this is just a paper over the cracks because the first half was abject. If it wasn't for those two, it would have been another disgraceful display. So I do understand where you're coming from. Hamza here on the Skype lines. Hamza, what do you want to say, my friend? Hamza, unmute your line, bro. Oh, he hung up. You can come back next time, bro. Unmute your lines when you phone up. Get yourselves on the air. Come and have your say. I get where you're coming from there, Jerome, with that. Terry, do you think Bale and Reguilon will make Spurs a serious side? Look, in terms of Tottenham's overall season aspirations and what they're going to do, I think it will lie very much with the attitude, behavior, and psyche of Jose Mourinho. We've got Jadon Palmer on the show. Jadon, what you saying, bro?
a serious pride. I just want to say Harry Kane is the most complete striker.
Jay, give me a second, bro. Can you turn down the device in the background because I can hear myself back?
Yeah, I turned it down.
Good man. Yeah, go on. What do you want to say, my friend?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Harry Kane is the most complete striker in the world because not only can he score goals, but he can drop deep, link play, and he has the best passing range I've seen from a striker since probably Rooney. Like, and to assist,
I get you.
Goals, to assist like 4 goals to the same player, I don't think it's ever been done before. So that takes some doing. So.
Yeah, it undoubtedly does. I think, as you say, it was a sensational performance from Harry Kane. We've spoke about Son. Harry Kane is. I've rated the guy for years, and what people always throw at me is they say, "Well, he's English, so of course you're going to like him." Like, bro, there's not every English player out there I say is great. Like, look what I say about Tammy. I think Tammy's good, but people overrate him. Mason Mount, people overrate him as an example. I love Harry Kane though because he isn't just. When he first started scoring goals, I saw him labeled as this kind of like Michael Owen without pace. He's a tapping merchant. I've seen screamers. I've seen world-class passing, wonderful vision. I've seen a man that can dribble a little bit. He's got good interplay skills as well. He can actually ball, and he doesn't get the respect that he deserves as a football player and never has. And I think the pass for the 4th goal, where it's played out to him, he has one glance at where the man's going to be, gets his head down, and then it was almost if KDB plays that pass with the ball behind him against the run of play, with having to bend the ball around defenders whilst Son is bending his run to stay on side. If KDB plays that pass, that pass goes viral. The scorer is almost forgotten about. It's all about the KDB pass. Harry Kane is absolutely off the charts, and I'm not going to change my opinion after one good performance from Tottenham in terms of how their season's going to pan out. But it's because of performances like today, where if Harry Kane doesn't win something this year at Tottenham, he has to leave for me because he's too good to go through his career and maybe scrape a League Cup medal. I want to see this guy in one of the best teams in the world, winning Premier Leagues or La Ligas or Bundesligas, winning domestic trophies, winning Champions Leagues, because he is that good. And Brighton have just gone 2-0 up at Newcastle in the opening 2 minutes. Actually, wow, that's amazing. Oh no, been given offside. It hasn't happened. Why do you think it is that people don't rate Harry Kane in your view?
I think it's because he hasn't won any trophies. That's why. But trophies doesn't really define a player. No, trophies doesn't really define a player, and that because you can say that. Yes, I hear that. Like in some games he goes missing, but he's been doing this for like 5 years now, and he's got like 2 golden boots. He's got a World Cup golden boot as well. People can talk about it was the Bukia's golden boot, but a goal is a goal. Like you know what I mean? So. I just think he doesn't get the respect because he plays for Tottenham and the fact that he doesn't win any trophy.
Bro, I couldn't agree with you more. It's the last thing that makes sense. By the way, that Brighton goal, I'm just commenting on now, that Brighton goal looked onside, I was waiting to check VAR. They're checking that. It's 100% onside in my opinion. Oh, they're checking something else. Okay. Oh, they're checking the build-up to it, seeing the build-up to it was onside, not the actual cross to the player. That'd be really harsh. But there we go. We'll see if that happens in a minute. On Harry Kane, as you say, the last remaining thing is, he's not even winning a trophy. This is how biased, it's how much people hate Harry Kane. If Harry Kane gets to a final and doesn't score, they'll still write him off. It's almost, if Harry Kane gets to a final and scores a hat-trick in it, maybe, just maybe then, they'll turn around and say, good goal, whatever, as an example. By the way, the Brighton goal was just overturned. The decision was overturned. It's now a goal. It's another reason why VAR and offside is so important, because that's just, imagine that could just save Brighton massively there. But there we go. Yeah, listen, I really appreciate your call and you coming on, having your say, mate. Thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you, Jay. Super chat here from Beatbox Dre. Says, Terry, this is what happens when Jose is backed. Clearly not finished. Jose changes the game. Brilliant sub. And another super chat says, Terry, get elite opinions on, please. I want to hear his views on Jose now. Imagine Bale, Son and Kane. If they stay fit, Spurs walk the top 4. And I know a lot of people will think and feel the same in relation to that. We've got Sanja Hussein on next. Sanja, what you saying, bro? Sandra, are you there? You're there, but you're not going to speak. We've got another caller on. Not too sure the name of this caller. He didn't answer. Oh, hello. Welcome to the Football Terrace. What you saying?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, bro. What you saying, my friend? Who do you support?
Yeah, man. I support Liverpool.
What did you make of Harry Kane and Son's performances today?
Man, here's the thing about Son, yeah? Like, he's literally the most underrated winger in the entire Premier League, in my opinion. Like, if you watch Tottenham often, like what Son did today, yeah, it went well with the finishing and all that, but the moves that he does that like every time he plays, basically.
You know, I think he is underrated by people. A lot of people don't.
Like, I've heard people try to say that, oh, Marcus Rashford is apparently far better than Son, but yeah, Marcus Rashford has this explosiveness. No one can take that away from him. But as a complete footballer, Son is just.
Well, I think let's be very mindful of what's being said in terms of that, because I'll give you a view on that. Son's what. There's two things you said there where people have to be really careful, and it's either they say it and they're wrong, or you hear them say they prefer Rashford and you interpret it as far better. Rashford is not far better than Son. Does that make sense? My view is, I was asked a question last year, would I swap Son? Would I get rid of Rashford and bring Son in? And I said no, because of what Rashford's doing at his age. I think he could go on. By the time he gets to Son's age, what's there, 5-6 year difference between the two of them? I wouldn't swap them. But that isn't me disrespecting Son. I know Son is a world-class player. I know he's a top-class player. He gets slept on quite a bit, but I think it's because he's at Tottenham. And it's a little bit like, if you look at Man City have got some serious ballers, like the likes of David Silva, who's killed it for 10 years in the Premier League.
Yeah, Company as well.
Yeah, they don't get the same respect that stars of Man United, Arsenal, and Chelsea have got. And I think that's because they don't have the size of the fan base to push that agenda, if that makes sense.
It's that clout on social media from all the Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United fans that Tottenham and Man City just don't seem to have at the moment. But yes, Son is definitely a terrific footballer. And today, like, I just hope that, as a Liverpool fan, I think that the way that certain United fans came onto Jose really hard, I just think that it was a bit unfair, perhaps, because he did get them second place. He did win some trophies.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not saying this. I hope he proves United.
No, I get that. Like I've said with Jose, if we go back, everything I've said about him, there's nothing wrong with his tactical approach. There is nothing wrong with his philosophy on football. For me, I don't know if he's got the mental capacity when the pressure's on top to stay stable during their downturns. Now, but you saw what I said the other day after the Reguilon signing and the Gareth Bale signing, and I stand by it. This is how football's an ever changing. Football's a revolution, and it's always a revolution because it's ever revolving and it's ever changing. And the way I look at it is this: if the signings of Bale and Reguilon with Højbjerg and who's the other guy they brought in, whose name I now forget. Doherty. If those signings make Jose Mourinho happy, then watch out. If Jose is happy, he's dangerous. The problem with Jose is as soon as he becomes upset and disenfranchised, he becomes an absolute terrorist within his own football club. And that's the only thing you have to watch out for when it comes to Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, bro. But you make some really good points. Thank you very much for coming on and having your say. Super chat here from Jerome says, I still think Jose is not the right manager for Tottenham. It is so predictable how we play today. We won because of individual brilliance of Harry Kane and Son. Prince says Rashford hasn't even reached the Wilcott level yet. Well, bro, listen, last year Rashford scored as a football player in a team that most people call trash, by the way, unless you want to call us a much better team than the likes of Tottenham and the Arsenal teams that Theo Wilcott played in. But last year, as a 21 to 22-year-old, Rashford scored 22 goals, which in the season, which is more goals in an individual season than Heung-Min Son has ever scored. Now, that doesn't mean, like I said last year when I got asked that question, I wouldn't swap Rashford at this point for Son, because Son's 28 years of age. Rashford has already bettered Son's best ever season in terms of outputs and there's a difference of 6 to 7 years between the two. However, let me reiterate this for the people that lack brain capacity to listen and that are stupid and undereducated. It doesn't mean I think Son's a bad player. I'm not even necessarily saying that Rashford is beyond or even at Son's level yet. It's about, I think he can go past it and beyond it because of what he's achieving at a much younger age. And at the same time, even if Rashford is better than him, you're talking marginal differences. So for me, learn to understand that I can rate somebody above Son, and that doesn't mean I'm saying Son's a trash player. Just learn to accept somebody else's opinion that I'm praising both players in that instance, and calm yourselves down. Grow a pair, grow some thick skin, grow up. You just need to do that, because otherwise you're going to have a very, very, very upset and angry life, because that's the way things roll. Listen, everybody that's tuned in today, thank you very, very much as always. Please smash the like button and share button. Back in just over an hour for Chelsea versus Liverpool, full feature length watch along. Take care. Goodbye. God